Hi, and welcome to Objective-C Programming. This is the course introduction. My name is Norman McIntyre, and I'll be your instructor. First and foremost, this is fully updated for Apple's XCode 6. So you'll learn how to program in what I call modern Objective-C using this latest and greatest tool called XCode 6. And that means you can use XCode to write iPhone and iPad applications that will run on the simulator using all of the features of Objective-C. So this course is really, you could think of as the first course you take if you want to write applications for the iPhone and the iPad and the Mac OS X, because those platforms use the Objective-C language. So in addition to the language, we're going to learn about something called the Foundation Framework. And with the Foundation Framework, you'll learn how to do things like handle strings and handle numbers, handle dates and handle files. All of that comes as part of this course. So what are our objectives as we go through here? Well, as a result of you taking this, you'll be able to start up and use Xcode, and you'll be able to write Objective-C programs. And what we mean by this, you can write Objective-C programs that will display text output. You could display text output either on what's called the console or on the iPhone or iPad simulator. You'll see how to write Objective-C using the proper language syntax. So Objective-C has somewhat of a different syntax from some of the other programming languages, and here you'll see that. In addition, we'll use the Foundation Framework to write Objective-C programs. Think of the Foundation Framework as a library that has pre-written code that you can get access to. We'll also learn how to use the Objective-C data types, both scalar types as well as more complex types such as classes. In fact, we will learn how you can create classes and create properties and methods on those classes. We'll learn how you can extend Objective-C, doing things like inheritance and categories and protocols. And also, we're going to learn how we can read and write files. So, a lot of information in this course. Now, the prerequisites, I'm assuming that you have experience with a programming language such as C or C++ or C# or Java. Really, if you have experience with an object-oriented programming language, you'll be in good shape for learning Objective-C. Some registered trademarks and copyrights are really all the ones that we discussed: the Mac, the Mac OS, the iOS, Objective-C, Xcode, iPhone, iPad. All of these are trademarks of Apple. So where are we going as we go through this course? First, we begin at the very high level, talking about an introduction to Objective-C, really seeing the big picture. We will look at how we use Xcode to actually write Objective-C code. And along the way, we're going to learn about the C programming language, because C is at the foundation of Objective-C. We'll then see how we can use Objective-C primitive data types, things like integers and floating points and booleans. We'll learn how to do control flow, for example, making ifs and doing looping statements. We'll learn how to do object-oriented programming, what's sometimes called OOP, and we'll see how Objective-C has implemented this object-oriented programming. We'll actually take a C program and see how you can convert a C program to Objective-C. And throughout a lot of this, we'll be using the Foundation Framework, which is that library of pre-written code that you can use to help you write Objective-C code faster. We'll learn how we can read and write files. For example, there's something called the bundle that is part of your application, and we'll see how you can read text files from the bundle. We'll see how you can read what's called a property list from a bundle. We'll learn how to write and read what are called key value pairs. Think of storing something with a key and that key having a value associated with it. We'll also learn how you can write and read files in something called your sandbox. Turns out the iPhone and iPad run applications inside a sandbox, and you may want to read and write files inside of that. Once we've written a lot of code using classes that already exist, we will then create our own classes. We'll learn how to add properties to those classes. We'll learn how to add methods to those classes. We'll learn that we can initialize classes with various initializers. We'll see that we can extend classes using something called categories. And also, we'll find we can have something called a protocol, which allows us to assign certain methods, and more than one class can implement those methods. We'll learn how you can delay execution of your program, and we'll also learn how you can use blocks in something called Grand Central Dispatch. So that's a lot to cover. What do you need? You need a Mac OS X, a Mac running OS X, version 10.9.4 or higher, and the software you'll need is to have the XCode 6 installed on your Mac. So essentially, if you can run XCode 6, then you've got everything you need, both from a hardware and a software perspective. So how does this course fit into the other courses you could take? Well, you can begin with this Programming for Non-Programmers course, and from there you may take a Java course. Well, Objective-C you could take either after you've taken your Java course, or you might even want to take Objective-C after taking a C programming course. There is a language called Swift as well, and both of these, both Objective-C and Swift, are used to write iOS applications. I want to stress, in this course, our focus is on Objective-C, and then in another course, you can learn the more specifics related to iOS programming. So, as always, there's materials to go with this. You can download both the student guide is found in the Materials tab here on this video website, and there's also an exercise guide that you can download and follow the exercises. So with all that, hopefully you're raring to get started, so let's do it.